Tickets to this play ought to come with a small print disclaimer. If you are at all susceptible to the effects of Cupid's arrow, watch out. Love lurks everywhere. And like love itself, the Oregon Shakespeare Festival's Love Fest, Love's Labours Lost, is utterly irresistible. So you have to pity the young King of Navarre and his three academic-minded pals who, for the sake of their studies, vow to abstain from food, sleep, and, of course, women for 3 years. Talk about bad timing. No sooner is their inked acquiescence dry on the parchment than the kingdom is visited by the comely Princess of France and her 3 tempting ladies. Hopped up on hormones, these lusty young lieges can keep their libidos locked up for only so long. The king, no less infected than the rest, finds himself reigning over while unsuccessfully reining in the court's unruly and rambunctious romantics, who take to writing love letters, which, as you would expect, knowing the playwright, are delightfully misdelivered. Following the familiar formula of Shakespearean comedy, the flower-petal-strewn stage is then overrun with confusions, complications, and convoluted comic couplings. Verily and merrily, this play is fun and frivolous to a fault, though, dare I say, such faults were few. I bid you to ask me not what they are, for though a critic I purportedly be, I must humbly confess to having been smitten, and my critical eye blinded by my own affection for this play. While the consistently fine ensemble cast celebrates the lusciousness of the language, nearly 2/3 of the lines of poetry, the limitations of said language and its near-criminal misuse is what provokes the most laughter. In fact, we're given fair warning even before the play begins with the "no cell phones, etc." announcement entrusted to Brad Whitmore. Shining in the role of Dull, a constable and the character most prone to malapropisms, he inveighs against the use of cellulite, as well as flesh and non-flesh photography, and patrons who return late after intermission will be reseated in an usher's excretion. In Shakespeare's day, the language of this play itself, the poetry, the puns, the rapid-fire wordplay, and rifled literary references, was surely sufficient to delight an audience. As for our 21st century American ears, and I speak for myself here, much is inevitably lost. So it is left then to a director's creativity to cover for that deficiency in order to provide an equally satisfying experience. To that end, director Shanna Cooper and her players succeed to a rare degree, compensating for any lack of comprehension with considerable comic invention, missing few opportunities to illustrate the text with clever bits of physical and decidedly lowbrow business. When, for instance, King Ferdinand, Mark Bedard, reads aloud the love letter he's penned, "Thou shinest in every tear that I do weep," he liberally splashes water on the parchment to provide convincing evidence of his emotions. And when our band of boisterous boys catch each other breaking the vow by penning such missives to their would-be mates, the scene devolves into a delicious cream-pie-in-the-face food fight. Love's Labours Lost, a most juicy and delectable diversion, can be enjoyed at the Elizabethan Theatre through October 9th. I give it 4.5 Rosies.